Words of hope, promise, and much criticism, though, of the State of the Nation address last night, predictably, I guess, with some critics saying part of the message fell flat when projected into economic reality, the realities we face in this country. So how are the experts digesting all of this the next day? Author and political commentator Oscar van Heerden, he's back with us now on lunchtime. He was with me earlier in the week with a preview. Oscar, good afternoon to you. 4 priorities: vaccine, economic recovery, jobs and infrastructure. All important issues. Did we learn anything new?
All very important. Thanks, Jeremy. I think, the president, there had been calls that he's indecisive, he's not taking decisions. And I think the president came out with SONA last night in a very corporate manner, in a very corporate-like, basically saying that, they have delivered, he has delivered, his administration has delivered, and proceeded to take us through what I can only describe as a report card, to say, this is what I said, this is what's happening, this is what I committed to, this is what we've done. So that was one aspect of the SONA, which I thought was important, because, as I say, the criticism was as if to suggest that Ramaphosa's administration and Ramaphosa himself is not actually getting things done. And I think he wanted to inform all of us that indeed there's a number of programs that he mentioned in his previous State of the Nation, and this is how far we've come in terms of actualizing and realizing those. The second component, of course, was something more of hope, more of renewal, a more inspirational component to the SONA.
The one thing that is top of mind, Oscar van Heerden, for all of us are vaccines. Kasatu this morning criticizing what it termed the lack of progress, clarity on timeframes, procurement, logistics and the like. We know some of that stuff. Did we get enough?
Well, I thought that, we could have perhaps received a bit more detail. But at the same time, already people are saying that it was quite a slow SONA, a very, very boring. In fact, some people go as far as saying boring. I suspect that had he gone into more detail with the vaccine rollout plan, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. And I just think that he's saying, without wanting to overtly speak to the eNCA debacle, he's saying that a new commitment has been made with Johnson & Johnson, 80,000 next week already, another 500,000 with the weeks to follow, and in a way saying that, once that shipment arrives, there will be a continuous rollout because the COVAX supplement will come, and so on and so forth, saying that he's satisfied with the provinces in terms of what they've put in place for this massive rollout, and so on. So, he gave us a bit of detail to say they have matters in hand once the vaccines arrive.
What are the opposition political parties saying? It was at odds with economic growth and corporate sentiment. Did the speech do enough to appease those two vital constituencies?
I don't think so. The truth of the matter is that, as I say, the last thing, and the president made this point, the last thing we all expected was a pandemic to hit us in March last year. We were already facing huge economic strife and challenges. And so, the truth is that he was trying to say that the very little that we do, we have to do well. And I thought it important, Jeremy, that he basically said, let us do it together. There has to be a partnership, between the public and the private sector. We need to do it together, and making NEDLAC the focal point in saying the stakeholders are all here. And why don't we do it together so that we can get through this? And emphasizing, I thought, which is important, because people always put all these issues in front of the government's doorstep, emphasizing that the major employer, the one who can create the majority of jobs, is indeed the private sector. So let us hold hands and do it together.
Oscar van Heerden, author, political commentator, thank you very much indeed. Now,